Hey, good afternoon. I'm the Random Shit Chef, and you're not. That wasn't good. Hey, it's Rick again, the Random Shit Chef. Today, for episode number 2, we're going to make a dessert that my mom used to make. Cheese torte. Not cheesecake, but cheese torte. My mom made it when I was a kid, and I loved it. I'm going to make the basic recipe for this. Mom used to sometimes top it with, if I remember right, blueberry pie filling or maybe cherry pie filling. I thought it might be kind of good if I added like some lemon juice or lime juice to it or something like chocolate syrup. You can do what you want with the recipe. Like I say, today I'm just making the basic one. Well, let's head over to the stovetop and start cooking. So these are the ingredients we need for Mom's famous cheese torte. You need a pre-prepared graham cracker crust, 2 blocks of cream cheese for a total of 16 ounces. You need to soften them. I've had these out for several hours softening, or you can quickly microwave them a bit. We need 10 ounces of marshmallows. I usually get the little ones instead of the normal size ones because they melt easier. 8 ounces of whipped topping, or basically Cool Whip. Cool Whip, if you're out there listening and you want to sponsor me, if I do this again, I can do it with your product. And you'll also need 8 ounces of milk. Well, I use a big pot like this because I think it's a lot easier to mix the ingredients. I've tried a taller, narrower one, but this to me is simpler. So, 8 ounces of milk. Put it in. I've got it set on high. We're going to wait just until the edges start to bubble before it starts to boil. I'm using whole milk. I guess you could use skim or 2% if you want, or coconut milk, or palm milk, or oat milk, or whatever. But 8 ounces of milk. So it's been roughly 2 minutes. My milk is bubbling and getting ready to start boiling. Don't let it boil, don't let it scorch. So in with the marshmallows. Just put the whole bag in. I've got a wooden spoon here. I'm just going to start stirring them into the milk. And I still have the heat setting on high. I'm going to turn it down in just a minute or two here, because once it starts thickening up from all the marshmallows, it will start to boil. And once it boils, it might scorch, and once it scorches, it's not going to taste good. Well, as you can see, the marshmallows are melting pretty quick. And I'm an impatient kind of guy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to a whisk instead of the spoon, and that'll help breaking up the marshmallows a bit. It's getting nice and creamy, and it's starting to bubble. So I just took it down to medium heat so we don't start getting a burn here. We don't want to feel the burn today. All right, that's mixed up pretty well. Bubbles are trying to form, so I still got it at a good heat. The next step is the cream cheese. This is going to take a little bit longer. Getting the milk to boiling took like about, or to the point where we're ready to put the marshmallows in, took about 2 minutes. This is going to take longer. So I'm going to go through and start breaking the cream cheese into chunks to get it to melt faster. Same time, I'm keeping an eye on the rest of the goo in there because it still can bubble and still start to burn. And once again, because I'm impatient, I'm going to switch to a whisk again. Pretty thick. It gets kind of hard to stir. Once the whipped topping goes in, it'll get easier again. And the last stage is the Cool Whip or whipped topping. It comes frozen. It definitely helps if you let it thaw first. And at this point, you have two choices. You can fold it in gently, which will give you a little bit more puffy cheese torte because it doesn't collapse all the bubbles, all the little air bubbles in the whipped topping. And I think that is melted and stirred sufficiently. Uh-oh, I saw a little wrong piece in there. Looks like I may have had a little bit of scorch going on. Well, let's take it over to the table and put it in the pie crust. And don't forget, turn your heat off before you bring it over. So here's our pre-prepared pie crust. And just pour that stuff in. It'll pretty much level itself out. Get your spatula, scrape out everything. Chances, it might look like it's going to overfill, but it's pretty thick. It won't. Now you just put that in the refrigerator overnight. It'll firm up, and you've got cheese torte, just like Mom used to make. And this is the Random Shit Chef signing off from St. Petersburg, Florida. See you next time.